This is your 420 Radio News for Thursday, May 8th, 2014. I'm Russ Belville. A new poll from Fairleigh Dickinson University and PublicMind is the latest to reveal majority support for legalizing marijuana nationwide. 50% of Americans support legalizing marijuana use, according to the poll, with support highest among Democrats and the young, as usual. 63% of Democrats versus 32% of Republicans favored legalization. 65% of millennials, those between 18 and 34, and 56% of Generation X, people between 35 and 50, also favor legalization, while only 48% of the baby boomers, aged 50 to 64, and just 36% of the greatest generation, over age 65, would end marijuana prohibition. Awareness of the legalization issue is strongly in the public's mind, with 86% of the poll respondents saying they've heard or read about legalization efforts in Colorado, Washington, and elsewhere. Krista Jenkins, the poll's director and a professor of political science at Fairleigh Dickinson University, said, quote, "The age differences we're seeing suggest that legal pot smoking in the future is more a question of when rather than if." On the final day of the legislative session, Colorado lawmakers approved a plan to create a system of financial co-ops to serve the marijuana industry. Representative Jonathan Singer, the chief sponsor of the measure, said the so-called cannabis credit co-ops are, quote, "the final piece to our pot puzzle," end quote, referring to the lack of checking, credit, payment processing, and loan services denied to state legal marijuana businesses due to federal banking regulations prohibiting money laundering for drug sales. The co-ops would operate like credit unions, but without a deposit insurance requirement. Checking and credit card services would have to be approved by the Federal Reserve, which may balk without the deposit insurance requirement. The Obama administration in February issued guidelines to allow banks to work with marijuana businesses, but absent actual protection from prosecution under a new administration, banks have been reticent to participate in the marijuana industry. The bill awaits Governor Hickenlooper's signature. A plan by the Colorado Symphony Orchestra to perform a series of bring-your-own-pot-friendly, classically cannabis concerts may be snuffed out by the city of Denver. The orchestra announced 3 fundraising concerts to be held at a local gallery that would establish a marijuana smoking lounge on its patio. Their disclaimer explained, quote, "Participant understands that attendees may use marijuana at this event, as is their right under Colorado law," end quote. The city of Denver today hand-delivered a letter to the orchestra instructing them to call off the concerts or risk violating Colorado law forbidding public pot smoking, warning, quote, "We will exercise any and all options available to the city of Denver to halt the event," end quote. The orchestra believes the gallery is a private venue, but the city argues the gallery, quote, "may be considered a public place under Colorado law," end quote. The letter does not address the orchestra's 4th planned event, a full symphony performance at Red Rocks Amphitheater. A new Colorado company is seeking to help veterans escape prescription pill addiction and the horrors of post-traumatic stress by giving them free marijuana. Roger Martin, an Army vet, is the man behind Operation Grow for Vets, which on Tuesday launched its website at grow4vets.org, and in one day had already signed up more than 200 vets seeking help. Veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress were strong campaigners for the legalization of marijuana, since Colorado's medical marijuana law has never included post-traumatic stress as a qualifying condition. Last week, the Colorado legislature declined to add post-traumatic stress to their program, forcing veterans to remain in the recreational marijuana system that costs them extra in excise and sales taxes and limits their access to the cannabis varietals needed for their conditions. Martin, age 61, escaped an OxyContin addiction thanks to marijuana and is working with companies that are donating grow supplies, cannabis oil, and medibles for free distribution to vets. Those Colorado veterans seeking relief from post-traumatic stress and other ailments with medical marijuana breathed a huge sigh of relief Wednesday thanks to a Veterans Administration spokesperson. Dan Warvey of the Veterans Administration Eastern Colorado Healthcare System told Fox 31 Denver, quote, "Use of a state-approved marijuana does not disqualify a veteran for health care, and it will not result in any sort of retaliation or denial of services," end quote. Although we've previously reported on successful efforts by Michael Kravitz and the Veterans for Medical Cannabis Access to end the practice of denying pain meds to vets over their legal use of marijuana, vets and their advocates have long speculated that the VA, being a federal entity, does not recognize the medicinal value of marijuana and may deny coverage if vets mention their state-approved use of cannabis. Warvey's statement put many of those fears to rest as he explained how VA doctors want to know about their patients' marijuana use to avoid harmful interactions with other prescriptions. This has been your 420 Radio News for Thursday, May 8th, 2014. I'm Russ Belville. Transcripts of 420 Radio News are available at our website at 420radio.org. When we come back, we'll go behind the headlines to look at Nebraska hypocrites complaining about Colorado weed while enabling South Dakota Indian alcoholism. You're listening to the Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back.